Bartolo Colon hitting that home run is the moment MLB should have been like, all right, it's never going to be better than this. Let's just
get it was that was the greatest shot I've ever seen.
Shut up.
Yep.
For a pitcher.
Get out of here.
Yep. Best day of MLB
That
life.
is not an invitation for the Mets fans to crawl into our show. Thank you very much.
The one positive thing we'd ever say about the Mets is he's got to crawl out of the woodwork. I will say this. When he hit that home run, credits should have rolled. That was so awesome. That should have been the end of the season. Like, catch us the next season on MLB. What was I going to say? Yeah.
No, we had to win the pennant first.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that went well for you. Me. In the beginning, there was baseball. It is Tuesday, May 12th, and I am CJ. You can catch me on Twitter at CJ in Pinstripes. I tweet once in a while. I am here with my guy, Evan. How are you doing, Evan?
Terrible. You don't tweet at all. That's a lie.
Hey, that's not true. I tweeted like 3 days ago. I can double check, but I tweeted. I'm looking right now.
Do you know what our handle is for the podcast?
27 Downcast.
That is true.
In your face. You weren't expecting me to get that right. You were.
I like the way it sounds.
It was 2 days ago, by the way. In fact, I tweeted, "Hey folks, go follow 27 Downcast. It's the perfect podcast."
Yeah.
Game.
You get it? Downcast. You get it?
Yes, I got it. And then before that, it was May 1st when I posted a picture of the whiskey and ginger ale I was about to devour that night. So
yeah, that was a great one.
I'm trying to remember. I watched a movie that night, and I don't remember which movie it was. I really don't remember.
In case you were wondering, this is 27 Down, the perfect podcast for the perfect game.
Lot of baseball news to talk about.
Yep.
A lot of stuff. So some more details have come out regarding baseball opening back up. It looks like Evan and I were right the whole time. It looks like beginning of July is when they're going to try to squeak in an 80-game season. So what do you think?
And you actually said that from the start. I've kind of flip-flopped back and forth, but when we actually talked it out in length, July 1st always kind of made the most sense.
Yeah.
We still don't even know if that's going to be the case. It can still be pushed back a little deeper into July, realistically. Yeah. It's once we get to August, that's when you got to start worrying if there's going to be baseball or not.
Yeah, so one of the biggest issues that's going to be out there is obviously player safety, and it's obviously going to be pay for the players. You know that the Players Union is going to try their best to try to get full pay for their players for the year. I don't know how you could justify that. But I do think that the union's going to try to make a big stink about, we're playing for half the money we would have gotten in 100 times the danger. I think they're going to really try to make that a big deal.
Yeah.
One of the things that I saw that I loved is that they might go universal DH. That's awesome. I
also love that.
Can I go on a rant? It's been a while since I went on a goddamn rant. There are people out there that will utterly refuse to watch baseball unless the pitcher is hitting. And I say to you, why? Why do you like that? Why do you like watching someone hit like 140 over the course of a season? Do you understand what it is? So here's the thing. Every once in a while, you'll see a pitcher hit a home run. And then those National League fuckers will come out of the woodwork and they'll be like, huh? You see that? Who needs a DH? Everyone needs a DH because, dude, sometimes Steven Drew hit home runs too. And he was one of the worst hitters I ever saw for the Yankees.
Oh, Steven Drew.
So are you going to point to a guy like Steven Drew and be like, hey, see that? We totally need more of that in baseball. It's bad television. Nobody wants to see just an utterly abysmal hitter every 9 batters.
No, and the thing too that's really frustrating is that, like you just said, you're waiting for those moments to happen, and they happen so rarely. Can you name 10 iconic pitcher hit home runs? I can name the Bartolo Colon shot when he was with the Mets. That was amazing. CC Sabathia hit some pretty good ones, I believe. But
I'll be honest with
no.
you. Bartolo Colon hitting that home run is the moment MLB should have been like, all right, it's never going to be better than this. Let's just get
it was.
Yep.
That was the greatest shot I've ever seen.
Shut up.
Yep.
For a pitcher.
Get out of here.
Yep. Best day of MLB.
That is
life.
not an invitation for the Mets fans to crawl into our show. Thank you very much.
The one positive thing we'd ever say about the Mets is he's got to crawl out of the woodwork. I will say this. When he hit that home run, credits should have rolled. That was so awesome. That should have been the end of the season. Like, catch us the next season on MLB. What was I going to say? Yeah.
No, we had to win the pennant first.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that went well for you. I'll say I can only think of two pitchers that ever consistently hit home runs. One was Bumgarner, and he did it for like maybe a year and a half. And the other was, what was that guy? Zambrano for the Cubs?
Carlos
Zambrano. Yeah, he hit like 7 home runs or 8 one year.
I was about to say Victor.
Yeah, Victor Zambrano. Does the Mets fan want to come out of the woodwork for that name? Anything you want to say about Victor Zambrano?
No, but Dwight Gooden could hit bombs.
All right. Well, he could also hit mounds of cocaine.
Man, I gotta go.
Yeah. So that's the one rule that I would say, man, just push it through going forward. Just make the switch. Who in baseball is against this? Who in baseball is against, first of all, the owners would probably benefit from this because now the National League has 15 teams that could go ahead and extend the livelihood of their players because you got these guys in the National League that are really, really good hitters, and as their career goes on, their defense starts to fade. So you can't put them in the infield anymore. And these guys, what they do at the end of their career is they just sign with American League teams because they stick them at DH and let them keep mashing. You think Nelson Cruz is ever going to sign with a National League team? Hell no.
He doesn't have a position.
Yeah, but if there was a DH in the National League in the future, guys like Nelson Cruz become available. So if you're an owner, why would you not want that? And there you go. Now I actually made an argument for the players too, because it extends their careers. You can get certain players out of the field and just have them play it.
And it like it says, it opens jobs without eliminating other jobs. It's not like it takes the pitcher out of the game. He's still the pitcher. He's just not batting anymore. So it's really not a big deal.
No pitcher focuses on their batting. No one does it. These guys are out there throwing 95 plus. They're focusing on their the only practice you'll ever see pitchers really do on hitting is when National League guys do their bunting drills. And then sometimes the American League guys leading up to interleague play will do some bunting drills. That's it. Why do you want to watch people bunt? And first of all, if there's 2 outs, nobody's bunting. That's not even enough.
Right.
So and if there's no one on base and there's a pitcher up, you got to watch them embarrassingly flail at pitches that they're never going to tag.
I think there's only 2 arguments against it, and they're both pretty weak. One is old school baseball realists just don't want change.
Tradition can suck nuts. Sometimes tradition's got to go.
I got it. I said they're both weak points. And the second, like it says, you said it gives an advantage to the National League. It definitely does. Well, I guess some American League fans could be annoyed about that in the World Series. That's the only thing.
Yeah, like people talk about how the American League has some kind of an advantage. They don't. The National League does because the National League doesn't ever have to worry about having the DH. It's just, okay, we can now plug in one of our bench guys.
Right, and look what it does to the aspect of the bench. It extends it because you're now not looking for that one-dimensional power hitter. You're looking for a guy who can play multiple positions and well. Yeah. That's why Ben Zobrist does best in a National League uniform because he can play everything and well.
Yeah. It's just so bizarre to me that having a universal DH benefits everyone, yet it just never happens. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen one day. It's gonna happen within our lives. As a matter of
Right.
fact, it's probably
And
gonna
look what
happen.
it would do for a team like the St. Louis Cardinals, who have like 13 first basemen that are all DH type players. I
Yeah.
know they traded Jose Martinez to the Rays, and he might have a good season, but
Yeah.
they still have some guys there. They had Voit, like,
Yeah. I mean, look at what happened when you got a guy like Reese Hoskins who had to play in the outfield because they couldn't put him at first base.
right.
So yeah, man, I don't get it. I don't know. So that's another rule. I didn't really see much else other than the 80 games and the potential DH. I'm not sure if there's any other information that you were able to find.
Well, the biggest issue coming back is going to be the money on both sides. But
Yeah.
is it worth it to have no money coming in at all by canceling the entire season? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, do you really want to go on strike and forego everything? Because then you
Right.
then you lose it all. And for what? I mean, yeah, the players talk about how they don't want to be put in harm's way, but y'all, you guys are athletes. Like, who's in danger by this thing? You're not gonna.
Right.
These guys who are playing baseball, these professional athletes, are not in any sort of danger. Like, hell yeah, it sucks if they were to get the virus, they'd be sick for.
It sucks, but they have so many resources around them to make it that much more comfortable of a process.
Yeah, like, you know, you're gonna catch flu-like symptoms, if even that. I mean, there are plenty of people who are getting nothing. There are
But
people.
like,
There are people who take antibody tests and they
right.
come up with the antibodies and they're like, I never even caught a fever. So
They keep talking about how a lot of these players don't want to be stuck in a hotel for 2, 3, 4 months and stuff.
yeah.
That sounds amazing for someone like me. Kidding me? Room service, pay-per-view, hell yeah.
Yeah, well, the only problem is I don't think room service has hot dogs on the menu. So
Oh, you son of a bitch! I knew you were going there.
for you, it would be a little lame. But some other things.
Did you see the hot dog post on Twitter, by the way? The proper way to mustard your hot dog.
No, I didn't.
It was posted by
the proper way to mustard your hot dog?
like you know, some people put it like on the side of the hot dog inside the bun. Some people put a little bit over the top of the hot dog. Some people drizzle way too much on it, and some people it's just you can't see the hot dog.
Interesting. I think what I do is I don't necessarily put it in the bun, but in the space like between the hot dog and the bun. I think that's normally where I do it, and then I'll do ketchup on the other side.
Okay, so that's the number one.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, most people said number 2 is the only acceptable manner,
Is number 2
which is on top of the dog directly.
Yeah, I just feel like it's easier, and I feel like you maximize your space that way.
As long as you don't put too much where it gets like sloppy and it's popping out and stuff, I'm fine.
The only condiments on a hot dog where it's acceptable to be sloppy is nacho cheese and chili.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
You need to slather on the dog and make it nice and sloppy and a nice juicy weenie that you stick in your mouth and suck on for a little. Let's see what
it really sucks that I do love hot dogs, but it's not my favorite food, you son of a bitch.
I mean, listen, I'm just going based on the fact that there was a time you told me, hey, man, all I eat is hot dogs, and there was something else. I don't remember what the other food was that you told me you eat.
It's kind of true because I've had hot dogs every weekend for the last, like, month and a half.
Hey, and that's fine. That's fine. It's that's your colon cancer. Here's a couple of other things they talked about. They said that postseason is going to be 14 teams instead of 10. Don't really understand that, but at the same time, I guess the sample size is so small.
Just think about that for a second. 10 to 14. Isn't that a pretty big jump from,
It is. But I think the whole idea behind it is the season is so small, and we talked about this a few episodes ago. The season's so small that fluky teams could end up getting in and displacing the better teams. So this is kind of a way of making sure the teams who deserve to be in, plus the fluky teams who played their way to deserving to be in, can both be in. As long as it doesn't stay this way, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't want it to stay this way. If it's a temporary thing just to, get all the baseball in this year, that's fine.
Yeah.
No problem with it. But I just, like I said, I don't like the drop off between talented teams and non-talented teams. I feel like those extra 4 teams, you're reaching the mediocre.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it's just one season, fine. It'll all sort itself out. But then again, what if one of those fluke teams flukes all the way to the end?
Yeah, exactly. That would piss me off.
I mean,
like what if Houston had the worst season ever, but they somehow are the 14th team, make it in, and then they beat everyone because it's postseason?
we've seen bad teams win the World Series before. I mean, the '06 Cardinals only won 83 games. They made it to the playoffs because their division sucked, and they won the damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, we see it in other sports too. If you look at football, didn't the Giants do it as a 9-7 team or whatever?
Yeah, and I think when the Packers last won, I think they were an 8th seed as well.
I mean that's incredible to me. You're a wild card team, and then you somehow make it to the Super Bowl and beat a team that's never lost.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. I mean, hell, even the 2000 Yankees weren't a very good team. They only won like 86, 87 games.
I didn't love the '09 Yankees either. I thought we were okay. I thought we had our moments.
No, I mean, that team had some stellar players.
Oh, it had some stellar players, but I think Philadelphia was definitely getting old. They were going down, and they had, a basically dead-in-the-water Pedro Martinez, who lost them 2 games in that World Series.
Including Game 6. That was great.
I mean, even Jabba got to win that World Series. Jabba. The guy who mocked Mo during a Mo interview in spring training and was off the team by the next year.
Yeah, he sucked. Man, '09. That was a good year. Another thing that I see here is that games are only going to be played against divisional and regional opponents. So, for example, the Yankees would only be playing the American League East and the National League East.
Watch out.
So we get to see the dumbass Mets like 30 times. That's great.
Watch out.
I mean, I'll take those 30 wins. That would be great.
Watch out.
Yeah, do you think the Yankees will come across Syndergaard at any point starting those games? I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe next year. The COVID is still going on. Not this year. Not this year. Won't happen.
And then last thing that I see here, expanded rosters from 26 to as many as 30 with a 20-man taxi squad of minor league players and prospects. So the 40-man roster has now become the 50-man roster. Wow.
It's a bit much, but like I said, I want baseball, so I'm willing to accept most of these changes as long as they don't stay permanent.
Dude, I'd accept at this point to start the season, I'd accept Kei Igawa as the Yankees' 6th starter. Let's just put it like that.
Why'd you have to go with that?
He was the first player that popped to mind.
He's literally the worst Yankee to ever hit the mound.
Man, I got to think if that's the case. It might be.
Bro, his fastball barely hit 90 when he was called up to the majors. Okay. Barely hit 90.
I mean, I just love the fact that his career ERA is 6.66. There's nothing better than that. There's absolutely nothing.
The only thing better than that is Chris Davis on the A's hitting the same thing for 4 years in a row.
That is also incredible. That makes me happy and makes me very sad that it ended.
And it ended drastically. He wasn't even close.
He had like 220. It wasn't close.
Yeah.
So that's what we got for the return to play proposal. 50-50 split of revenue from the 2020 season. So
you heard that Judge is still technically pretty hurt?
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
They said he'd be ready.
He's not ready. Stanton's ready. Judge will not be ready.
Why do they keep doing this? Why do they keep saying people are going to be ready? Like, what? Someone gets his head chopped off. Oh, no, he'll be good in like 2 days. Why do they do this? Why do you do this? Why do they do this? I want to poop on their face. Why do they do this?
We're reactionary fans. They try to keep us mild-tempered a little bit. It doesn't work.
Yeah, you know what's a great way to make sure that doesn't happen? Lie to us about the injury time. Remember when he, like, what did he break? Was that, like, his arm that he broke? His wrist?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no problem. He'll be back in, like, 2 weeks. Missed, like, 3 months.
Yeah, and then they tell, oh, he had a rib injury in September, and we're telling you about it now in April.
Listen, man, I'm no professional athlete. I'm not anywhere close to a professional athlete. But I think if a professional athlete has a broken rib, they would know. How do you not know? How do you not know you have a broken rib?
I had a torn meniscus for 7 years, and I didn't know.
I feel like that's I don't know. That's a little stupid, too. I feel like you should know. But a torn meniscus is like, there could be anything wrong with your knee, you know?
That's correct.
When you feel just a pain in your rib, a broken rib doesn't just feel painful. You feel it moving. You sometimes hear it jumping around.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can take it out of you and begin suckling on it. Never mind. No, forget about that part. No, that's part not true. I made that up. But yeah,
that was terrible.
Yeah, you would know when your knee. That's a whole other story. Any fucking multitude of things can be wrong with your knee.
Yeah.
But your rib, come on, you don't know you have a broken rib. The Yankees don't know someone has a broken rib. How does that not get caught? How does that not get caught on an X-ray?
Well, and that's what becomes frustrating because it seems like we've had, different staff over the last 2 or 3 years, and we're still doing kind of the same things.
They can suck my hardy testicles, man. That's terrible.
It's frustrating, especially because it's a player like Judge. That's our guy. That's basically our captain. That's the one everyone loves. So you would hope that he's taken care of better than anyone else, and it doesn't seem like he really is. I don't know.
Yeah, it kills me. It makes me sad. I'm trying to see if there's any NFL news, but honestly,
what's your name today?
Pierre Empty Bladder. Get it?
Yeah, it's great.
Pierre Empty Bladder.
I don't. You gotta explain it to me because I was saying this to him earlier. I don't know what it means.
All right. If your bladder's empty, you're gonna pee air.
Oh, I gotta go.
Goodbye, Joe. Thanks for coming.
Wait, speaking of Joe, does he have questions for us? Does he have anything to
questions?
I have 2. Hold on, let me get my co-stars.
God damn it!
My co-stars with me. So I got 2. I got an all-star record. I'd like to quiz
Marcos
you.
Tudoro.
And a regular season. Who wants the all-star question? Who wants the regular?
David
season?
Eckstein.
No, wrong answer.
Vita Blue.
Who wants the all-star? Who wants the regular season? I'll direct one to each.
I'll do regular season.
All right, we'll start with the regular season. A record that may never be broken. 130 stolen bases. Who was it? Will it ever be broken again?
Henderson.
Yes.
Of course it was Henderson. No, it's never going to be broken, especially considering there's plenty of teams who have correctly, mind you, realized that the risk of stealing bases isn't worth it. I'll say this. You really only need to steal a base if the guys hitting behind you suck at hitting. And I think teams have kind of wised up to that. There used to be a time, and this is in Henderson's time, when he was the leadoff guy. And he deserved to be there, not because he could steal bases, but the guy was capable of getting on base. Like, he was the easiest at it. Nobody, other than maybe Barry Bonds, Ricky Henderson was so good at getting on base. But back then, people all saw how fast he could run. It was like, he's a speedster. Put him lead off, have him steal a base. The reality is you don't need to do that because the guys hitting behind you at 2, 3, 4, they're solid hitters who will hit home runs and doubles. So what's the point of risking a stolen base in that scenario? What you really want to do is put your fastest player, assuming he's not a very strong hitter, but if he's like a fast guy who can kind of get on base here and there, you want to put that guy 6th because your 7, 8, 9 guys likely don't hit all that well. So if you put yourself in scoring position, you get a better chance of one of their singles knocking you in. And I think that's the direction Major League Baseball is starting to move in.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. With new score analytics, there's no way you're going to have a guy even get that amount of opportunities to steal the base that amount of time. So, no.
All right. So the All-Star goes to Evan. 25 consecutive All-Star appearances. Who was it? Will that ever get broken?
25.
25. Late 60s into the
Yeah,
early
80s. Can I just really quickly, before he tries to answer, was this a previous answer for another question in a previous show? I believe it was. That's the guy that I'm thinking. Let him answer.
I don't think I
remember.
know the answer, to be honest. I'm thinking 1960s.
Known for home runs.
Okay, so maybe not.
Well, why don't you go ahead and answer that one too, bro?
Actually, if the clue is known for home runs, Hank Aaron.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 25 in a row, which is absurd when I saw it. I didn't even believe it. But
yeah, at first I thought the reason
that makes sense.
Reason I asked you that question is at first I thought it was Nolan Ryan.
No, I don't think he made that many in a row. I'm sure he's got like 21 or 22, but yeah, definitely not in a row.
Yeah, I was trying to think of who the hell played that long.
Yeah.
25 in a row. Like, that's hard to do in a video game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard to have like a 15-year career, let alone 25 and be an all-star every year. That's insane.
Well, I believe Julio Franco's still playing.
Yo, the man.
He's now in like the Cuba leagues or the whatever leagues.
I think Minnie Minoso was playing up until the day he died.
Is Bartolo still playing? I heard he was trying to play again.
Yeah, I'm sure he's trying to get back in. I would love for him to get back in because I want there to be a 4-decade player in baseball. Vince Carter just did it in the NBA. So
that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Who's more lovable than Bartolo Colon? Like, he's amazing. Didn't he get wrecked by A-Rod when he was with the Angels, and then he comes back and, like, wins the Cy Young after that or some shit?
He did get wrecked by A-Rod. I remember that. A-Rod had, like, 7 RBI by the 3rd inning.
Yeah, that was, like, the 3-home run game. He had 10 RBIs in the whole game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's fun. Hey, I think that's it. I think that's all we have.
This is 27 Down, the perfect podcast for the perfect game. See you guys on Thursday.